Now, as Dubai's education market becomes more competitive, choosing a school has become a critical decision for parents. Scholars International Group have just released their Parent Insight study, which is based on research involving 400 parents here in Dubai. It examines how families are making school decisions. And joining me now is Aparna Verma. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here, Sherry.
So tell us, this is such an interesting topic. What should parents be looking for when it comes to finding a school for their children?
Well, I think what we found out from the study is that parents are not looking for the bling. They're not looking for the branding, the facilities. What we're looking for is something far more authentic and real. They're looking for what's happening in the classroom. Who is the leadership? Who's behind the school? What is the academic progress of their child? So it's more about what is happening in the classroom rather than what is being claimed or what is being shown.
Right, so not really the marketing, but more like the schools that have built trust over word of mouth.
Absolutely. And word of mouth is important. At the end of the day, you will always listen to a friend. What have they got to offer? What do they have to say? And that's why I feel it is so relative for parents to go to a school, see the school, feel it, sense the culture, because that is as relevant, for example, as a KHDA report. You've got the report that gives you reassurance, but you've also got to sense and understand what the school is all about.
Right. Now tell us about the importance of the age or reputation of a school when it comes to assessing the quality.
Legacy is important. Reputation is important. But 8 out of 10 parents felt that that was not critical. They actually wanted to know what was happening in the classroom. How is their child progressing? What are the teachers teaching? Actually, more importantly, how are the kids learning? And is there stable leadership? Who's behind the school? That's why with our 50-year legacy, there's so much strength behind that because it's 50 years of experience in Dubai. And parents are looking for something that is tangible, strong, and delivers. It's not about promises. It's about keeping your promise.
So when it comes to the research, did you find anything about the curriculum choice as a deciding factor?
Oh, that was so interesting. Parents are not interested in the curriculum. To them, it was all the same. They wanted to know, how is a child learning? We asked so many parents, and in a way it surprised me too. I thought, each one would have, because they have their own, where they went to school, what their curriculum was in, but that doesn't necessarily reflect on what's good for their child. So they just said, we just want to know how our child is learning. Is there joy? Are they happy? That's what the parents were concerned with.
And so when it comes to overwhelmed parents or first-time parents putting their children in schools, what is the single most important question they should ask before actually enrolling the child in?
So 90% of our parents are not looking at big claims and big promises. They just want to know what is being delivered. And it is for that exact reason that we're launching the new Scholar School, simply because we wanted to listen to parents. Listening to parents is important. And what we got, the biggest takeaway from that was that before schools speak, parents want to be heard.
And to my final question, the age limit has just been changed a little bit for the children. What is the advice you can give parents on, how to follow that if they're not really sure which route to take, FS1, FS2?
Well, that also depends on the KHDA requirements. So now that you're 3 years old, you can get into FS1. The child is still young, but if they're still in an environment of play, they can choose a nursery, they can choose a school, but it's important that if they choose a school, they still want to be in an environment of fun and play, not necessarily academic in FS1 at the age of 3.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you, Aparna Verma. We will leave it there for now. Your insight was fantastic.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you for having me.
Of course.